Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. That definitely wasn't a pretty ending, but at the end of the day, the New York Knicks found a way to come out victorious, defeating the Atlanta Hawks on the road, the final score being a 126 to 120. The New York Knicks were a very successful road team last season, and they're looking to build upon that and even bring more momentum when it comes to winning games on the road. But you also want to see a balance of seeing this team be successful at home, which we saw some of last year with the New York Knicks as well. But obviously, it's going to be a competitive environment when the New York Knicks are taking on Trae Young, someone they played in the playoffs. They probably took this game a little more personal than maybe some upcoming games. Obviously, this is a back-to-back. We're playing the New Orleans Pelicans literally tomorrow, so it's great to get this W. And they did look gassed at times out there on the floor. But yeah, some crazy endings when it came to some possessions in this basketball game. You think this game is wrapped up. We're up 7 with like 130 left in the fourth quarter. Obviously, that's tons of time, but it's like we shot ourselves in the foot with a couple turnovers that we're going to be getting ourselves into. But the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks really wanted this game. Obviously, every team wants to win, but they both entered this game with an 0-1 record. The New York Knicks on their opening night at Madison Square Garden losing to the Boston Celtics in heartbreaking fashion, and then the Atlanta Hawks. They kind of had a heartbreaking loss as well, losing to the Charlotte Hornets. Not a very good team, or at least a lot of people don't have tons of expectations with the Charlotte Hornets run by Steve Clifford entering this upcoming season. So that was kind of a heartbreaking, just devastating loss for some Atlanta Hawks fans, and this was just a get-right game. You know, the Hawks are at home. You would think like maybe they just really have the crowd into it. But the Atlanta Hawks only had the lead once in this basketball game, and that came in the first quarter. This was a very competitive game, don't get me wrong. Tons of back and forth action of like it looks like the Knicks are running away with it, and the Hawks go on a run. Bogdanovich, DeAndre Hunter, Onyeka Okongwu had some solid defensive plays. Capella was a beast on the boards. Trae Young didn't score well at all, but he managed to get to the free throw line. We're going to be getting into all of that. But this wasn't like it wasn't just for the ball clubs of the Knicks and also the Hornet or the Hawks to get right to get their first win of the season, but individually for Jalen, Brunson, and Trae Young, this was just they needed to play better. They needed to play much better. Trae Young, if you take a look at what he did versus the Charlotte Hornets, I know he still managed to get 23 points, but he's 4 for 19 from the field. He was probably looking to be more efficient and make more winning plays this game. He made some solid plays this game, but another inefficient night. He managed to get to the free throw line. That's how he was able to get to 15 points. I believe we'll get to the box score. But Jalen Brunson, he looked out of rhythm. He looked out of sorts versus the Boston Celtics. He was 6 for 21, 15 points. We know Brunson's a better player than that, and he was able to rebound in this game. 50% from the field, 11 for 21, made 8 3-pointers, 2 away from J.R. Smith's record, 31 points, 6 assists, when it looked like the Knicks offense was just completely falling apart. And we weren't able to score for 3 minutes in that fourth quarter. Brunson comes in, he's able to flip it up and in. Nice finish and just nice touch, good craftiness by Jalen Brunson on that one play. But I believe, in my opinion, Josh Hart deserves some credit. He didn't score a lot in this game. It might have been his only bucket because he airballed a three-pointer, wasn't really aggressive offensively, but we know what he brings defensively and his ability to facilitate. But he had a nice floater when he checked in the game to actually end that 3-minute drought by the New York Knicks. So some credit to him, but I just love the overall approach by the offense. The defense definitely needs some work. Our biggest lead in this game was 11 points. Again, the Hawks only led at 1 point in this game, which came in the first quarter really early on. But offensively, I like this role by Julius Randle. Some people may be scared of, oh, Julius Randle's not putting up 30 or he's not playing like an all-star right now versus Boston and the Atlanta Hawks so far. First off, it's early, but I like the more versatile approach. Scoring isn't everything. If you're able to score good enough and get timely buckets, I'm completely okay with this role. When you take a look at Randle, he had a damn near triple-double. He rebounded the heck out of the basketball. I thought he played physical. He hit a timely follow-away jumper when we needed it in the fourth quarter. Missed a couple free throws, but he was able to knock down pretty much the free throws we really needed to really put this game away after a couple turnovers, again, that I'm going to be getting into. But he facilitated really well. He wasn't looking to just shoot that fadeaway jumper or settle outside on the perimeter. He recognized when the double team was coming, kicked it out to a Brunson outside on the perimeter. That's where the majority of Brunson's threes came. Again, he knocked down 8 3-balls, which is a career high. Entering the game, I believe his career high was 7. RJ Barrett knocks down 3 threes. Dante DiVincenzo knocks down a few threes in this basketball game. Julius Randle knocks down a couple. Quickly knocked down a couple, but he was very inefficient. I thought they did a good job rushing him or just speeding him up quickly. He just didn't look like in his overall. He didn't look like he was in his overall flow, at least offensively, when it came to a three-level scoring standpoint. So I give credit to the Atlanta Hawks defensively in that department, even though they're not a very consistent defensive team. Quinn Grimes knocked down a couple threes. But yeah, Grimes had some solid moments defensively, especially early on to set the tone defensively on Trae Young. Very good on ball pressure, and we did a really good job clogging the lanes. Give credit to Dante DiVincenzo there. But sometimes I'm thinking, I know Grimes has a totally different role from RJ and Julius Randle, Brunson when it comes to scoring wise, but he just rarely gets the rock at all. I know there was a couple looks that he missed, or he was a little hesitant in certain situations offensively. And some Knicks fans are throwing it out there. I'm not saying I would do this. Would you start quickly? Or do you think quickly is just way too important to the bench? And just some people aren't a big fan of Grimes, how he doesn't bring a lot offensively, but you could also say it's us not getting him involved as much. But he did a really good job when Bogdanovich was cutting, when he was getting into a rhythm. He denied the backdoor pass, or he did a really good job just denying it with his wingspan, so Trae Young wasn't able to make the pass. Trae Young was still able to facilitate, but he just didn't score at the level that you probably needed him to if you're a Hawks fan or you're the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, Quinn Snyder. But I love the way RJ played. That's back-to-back good games for RJ Barrett. What was I saying? I was saying no excuses. Whatever he's working on in the offseason to start the season, it's not working. He needs to form a different habit, and this is probably the best start he's in his career, gone off to in his career when it comes to starting a season. He's usually so inefficient. I know he was 8 for 20 versus Boston, but this was a good game. I like the way he set the tone. Nice in and out to actually put the first points on the board in transition. Nice in and out on Trae Young. We were just attacking Trae Young defensively, but nice in and out. He was able to dunk it in transition. He facilitated very well. He found Dante DiVincenzo cutting to the basket. Nice whip passes. Brunson made a very nice whip pass, I believe, to find RJ Barrett in the corner for a three as well. But his shot is looking good from three early on. I know the first game, I believe he shot 37%. Then this is another game that he shot very well from three. But he's facilitating. He's playing decent defense. Sometimes he can get caught on screens. But I like the way he's finishing. He had a nice finish when it came to the fourth quarter. I mentioned Brunson's nice crafty finish in the fourth quarter when he checked in Randall's fall away. But RJ made some big plays down the stretch. I'm like, if I don't see RJ come in the game out of this timeout, I'm gonna be pissed. But we did put RJ back in, and I felt like the switch was just flipped. We flipped the switch, honestly. RJ strong take to the basket, finished on the other end. And how about two pull-up mid-range jumpers from RJ Barrett? I love seeing that. I believe the one was on DeAndre Hunter in the fourth quarter. Huge mid-range pull-up jumper. Just awesome. I love seeing that from RJ. He is expanding his game, and we're getting him involved more. Seeing Randall utilized more as a decoy. Didn't score a lot, but I felt he made some nice hustle plays, rebounded well, and facilitated well. Sometimes, even if you're a top scorer, you need to sometimes just sit back and analyze the situation and be like, I may have to sacrifice some things if I want this team to be more well balanced. And I feel that's what Randall's doing so far this season. It's only a couple games in, and maybe he does end up averaging 25 points per game and ends up being an all-star again. But I'm really proud of RJ, the way he's played so far this season, and especially this game. He had 26 points, very good efficiency, over 45% from the field, shot very well from three, made key passes. Give credit to RJ Barrett, probably one of the top players of this game. I know Brunson had 31, but RJ for 4 quarters, that's just extremely good, consistent basketball. I love seeing that from RJ Barrett. But Grimes knocked down a three early. I love the on-ball pressure. I thought we were playing very well defensively in that first half. We just had a couple plays that was lack of communication. I don't think Randall communicated, or I don't want to blame it all on Randall. Could have been Grimes, but it was just like we left someone open in the dunker spot. That happened a couple times. But we really kept Trae Young in check. We were so physical with him. We were abusing him when it came to offensively, as hacking him, but then abusing him even when he had the rock. He had some off-balance jumpers. He missed a couple easy ones at the basket, missed some floaters. He does a really good job manipulating the defense. You think he's going up with that floater, and he lobs it up to a Congo or lobs it up to Capella. But I just really love what he brought to the table. Mitchell Robinson really doing a good job defending those alley-oops at times. Trae Young's one of the best manipulators in the game at throwing those oops or just getting the defense to guess. So you have to obviously give credit to Trae Young. But I thought Mitch had an awesome game, protecting the paint, rebounding well. Capella's going to get his, though. He's a veteran in this league, and he's just a strong physical body. You got to give credit to Capella. But I thought Mitch played a damn solid game. Mitchell Robinson, 7 points, 13 rebounds. He had 7 defensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, 4 steals, 4 blocks. He was such an active body, like a true active body in this game. He was disciplined. I love what he brought to the table. He just had 1 foul. And this one I'm talking about with Randall. Like, it may not be a sexy stat line, but he did almost everything. I know he had a few turnovers, but he had 17 points, 9 assists, 12 rebounds. He rebounded the rock really well. He didn't take a lot of shots. He took 10, but he wasn't rushing or forcing much. Like, at least compared to maybe past games that we have seen. And he was 3 of 7 from 3, so he was efficient. Grimes 2 for 5, another game that we shoot well from 3. Grimes 2 for 5 from 3. RJ 3 for 5. Brunson 8 for 12. Randall 3 for 7. You have Dante DiVincenzo off the bench, shoots 3 for 5. Quickly didn't shoot well. I'm not saying we're going to consistently get that, but we're going to be in good shape offensively if we continue to do that. But I like the ball movement. I like the 3-point shooting. We knocked down our free throws. I know we missed a few at the end of the game. Brunson split a pair. Brunson actually hasn't gone to the free throw line as much as he has like last season, but obviously it's only a couple games, but he only took one last game. I felt like he didn't take a lot in this game. If you take a look at Jalen Brunson, he took 2 free throws, he split a pair, in which came in the fourth quarter. But I knew Brunson was going to be fine. He was missing some like gimmies or just some bunnies that he just usually makes. The floater started to go down again. So a couple in and out on the mid-range, but he was just on fire from beyond the arc. He was just absolutely terrific. But the Hawks were able to keep this game competitive because Capella was still able to crash the glass. Trae Young was still able to facilitate. Bogdanovich off the bench, was killing us from 3. His mechanics, his shot is just so smooth. We were not able to contain the perimeter. DeAndre Hunter had 27 points in this game. You got to give credit to him. He was knocking down the 3 ball. And what I really thought set the tone when it looked like this was the Knicks game and maybe it could have been a potential blowout, they had a big-time momentum-changing play. Jalen Johnson works down the lane. I love Hartenstein. I thought he played his ass off. He had some insane blocks in this game, specifically one in the second half. It was on Okongwu. He just snatched the ball like from him. It was an insane play by Hartenstein. You know, I like his ability to pass as well when that's able to open up. But he just plays like a bulldog. Off the missed free throw, offensive rebound, threw it down. But Jalen Johnson just absolutely murdered Hartenstein when it came to this poster, working on the lane, just ferocious. Just a ferocious jam by Jalen Johnson. Him out of Duke, that was the one thing that was like no question mark there, or no big time question there at all when it comes to his athleticism. He is a freak athlete, even on layups. His ability to put his head at the rim. Just insane level athlete coming out of Duke, up there with Zion. That's how good of an athlete he is. And I felt that brought some momentum to the crowd, the overall team, because once that went down, that dunk, they were able to cut to the deficit, but obviously they were never able to get that lead back from the first quarter that they were up 1 because I felt the Knicks started turning the ball over and the Knicks transition defense wasn't that good, so the Hawks were getting some easy buckets, but then at the same time the Knicks were forcing turnovers. Give credit to DiVincenzo. I thought he was all over the place. Mitchell Robinson 4 steals. RJ had some solid moments. Grimes had some solid moments. Give credit to Randall. Give credit to most of his team, but there definitely is times that there's lapses, and it's just like the transition defense really pisses me off. But yeah, after that Jalen Johnson dunk, Bogdanovich hitting shots, DeAndre Hunter, they're just going on a 3-point barrage. Trae Young hit a really deep one. AJ Griffin hit a 3 as well that I thought he had some timely shots. So give credit to the Hawks. They were very competitive in this game. But at the end of the day, you're not going to win this game if, like, yes, your complementary pieces are stepping up and playing very well, but if Trae Young's not really efficient and really hitting his shots consistently from 3, that floater's not consistently going down. DeJounte Murray was pretty silent throughout this basketball game, and I know Hunter ended up getting some buckets definitely at the end, but there was kind of a period that we made some good adjustments on Hunter. But you look at the stat line here. Yes, Trae Young got to the free throw line 10 times, made 8, but he's 4 for 16 from the field. Trae Young 2 for 5 from 3. He had 12 assists still, but 18 points. DeJounte Murray, we couldn't really slow him down in the second half when it came to dribble penetration. There were some plays it's like, damn, we just allowed DeJounte Murray to go right to the basket. He had 18 points. He was 0 for 3 from 3, though. Bogdanovich off the bench, 16 points, 4 of 9 from 3, 6 for 11 from the field. AJ Griffin hit a couple threes for them. Maybe like a Okongwu, you're not expecting a lot offensively. But I felt what really hurt the Knicks was the turnovers. The offense became stagnant at times. I love Brunson, and Brunson's a natural scorer of the ball, but I felt the ball movement started to go away at times. But I just loved RJ's approach throughout this game. RJ just played so even keel. You know, we're moving the rock. We're getting RJ involved. We're actually relying on him as a number 2 option. Maybe Tibbs is like, just give this dude a chance. Give a different role to Julius Randle. Again, it's only a couple games in, but the main guy stepped up for the New York Knicks. And when we did move the ball, I thought the offense was consistent. Quickly, it was kind of erratic. He got off to a decent start, but then the second half kind of went away. But Brunson and mostly RJ saved, I would say, that fourth quarter when we were going on that drought, or we had that huge drought, but the Hawks weren't able to score much as well. But yeah, Hartenstein I thought played pretty well when it came to discipline wise in the interior in the second half because he got into foul trouble in the first half. But just give credit to this team. Like when I thought this game was over, Randall hits the big shot, RJ, Brunson, they're all stepping up in the fourth quarter. Just some big time turnovers. I'm probably gonna have to look back at them. It was just such a crazy sequence of events to honestly close out this game. When you thought it was over, when we're up 7 with like 120 to go, RJ loses the ball at the basket, but he makes a very smart play that he doesn't force up a floater and he actually kicks it out to Julius Randle. So it looks like the Knicks are in control of this game and maybe they're just going to end it very nicely. But obviously, we know it's New York Knicks. It's going to be cardiac Knicks at the end of some games for sure. If you're a true Knicks fan, you do understand that. And Capella wasn't able to capitalize on a possession. But Trae Young, I know, did manage to get to the free throw line. He split a pair, and I believe before that, Brunson was able to split a pair. And we left Hunter some breathing room, and Hunter ended up knocking down a three to make this a 4-point game and just really make it close. And this is where I thought this shit was over. I'm like, are you kidding me? Only the Knicks would do this. So it gets even closer and closer. Quentin Grimes or Jalen Brunson's inbounding the basketball. I don't know if it was behind him. He kind of threw it into traffic. I'm going to have to rewatch it. But Quentin Grimes wasn't able to hold on to it. And it was a huge turnover for the New York Knicks. Just such a huge turnover for the New York Knicks. And Quentin Grimes fouls him on top of that after Trae Young ended up with the steal. We foul Trae Young. He makes both free throws. It's a 2-point game. And then there's another turnover. And I don't know if this was fully on Randall. Maybe Randall could have caught it. But Jalen Brunson kind of, I don't know, it was too much of a careless pass in this situation near the sideline. I wasn't a big time fan of it, but the Knicks aren't able to save it, and then it's Hawks basketball. And it's just probably the biggest moment of the game. Trae Young makes a beautiful pass, but I love the contest by Mitchell Robinson. Capella didn't know if he wanted to dunk it or lay it up. It seemed like off of the lob, and he loses the basketball. And I would say that was pretty much the play of the game for the Hawks to have an opportunity to tie it. And it became the foul game. Julius Randle went to the free throw line a few times, did split a pair a couple times, but he made enough for it to be for the Knicks to seal the W. But even off of like when he split a pair, the Hawks weren't completely out of it. But Trae Young ends up missing like a point blank shot at the basket. And then there was another time that they made a nice entry pass and the Hawks missed a point blank layup at the basket, or could have been a dunk. So the Knicks definitely caught some breaks. Definitely caught some breaks. But it was encouraging seeing RJ play well. Randall do more than scoring the basketball. Brunson bounce back. DiVincenzo had 0 points in his debut. Clogged the lane well. Didn't finish well, but he knocked down threes. So it was very encouraging to see those three guys step up. Defensively, this team needs work in transition, navigating around screens defensively. But the Knicks found a way. They found a way. Let me know down below your thoughts on this game. Are we beating New Orleans tomorrow? Peace out, y'all.